another video, and today I want to talk about something a little bit different on the channel. This isn't a video game specific topic, although video games do come into it a little bit. But today I want to discuss streaming services, everything that's going on with them, and why I honestly think we're in this like period where it's a bunch of bullshit right now. And I just want to go through with it here and kind of have a discussion and talk about why streaming services are just flat out bullshit right now. Outrageous price hikes and lack of quality content are leading many people to rethink what they're subscribed to today. For me, this whole nightmare started back in May of 2023 when Netflix decided to give millions of people the middle finger by taking something that they've had for a very, very long time, which is sharing accounts, something they fucking championed for years, and said, nah, man, fuck you. You gotta pay now. Sorry, times are tough for good old Netflix over here. So, you know, if you're sharing an account with grandma and grandpa, fuck grandma and grandpa. We want their money now. And that's basically what they did. They implemented this. It basically checks your IP address, right? So if you log in at a different IP address and it's not the one it recognizes as like the home user, it'll come up with this arbitrary screen that says, you know, Netflix. It's literally says this, like it scolds you. It's like Netflix is for you and the people in your household. If you're not in the household, basically it tells you to fuck off or pay. Now, Netflix also rolled out that to add someone as a user in a different IP with a different IP address, they certainly can do that. It's an additional $8 a month. Netflix is a service as of today, the recording of this video, $20 a month in the US is how much Netflix costs. $20 a month. And that is, to be fair, that is for the premium. You want 4K, you want HDR, you want Dolby Vision. That is the premium tier. They do have other less tiers, you know, that are only 1080p. They do have an ad tier. That's a big part of streaming right now. Everybody's doing an ad tier, which is also, frankly, a lot of bullshit, okay? You know, part of the reason of ditching cable was so I didn't have to see advertisements anymore. I was tired of commercials. And the fact that every single one of these streaming services has now decided, fuck it, let's bring this shit back, is insane and incomprehensible to me. But again, the money doesn't lie. And there are a lot of people out there, apparently, that would rather pay less money and sit through a couple ads than pay more to not see any ads. And we've seen pretty much every major service do this over the course of the last year or two. Those that didn't already have ad tier versions of their service have now offered that at a lesser price. But again, you're going to see a shit ton of fucking ads. I'm also someone that pays for YouTube Premium. That's how much I dislike seeing ads at this point. And I don't know if you've watched a YouTube video without having Premium, and I'm sure a lot of people do, but you will see a fuck ton of advertisements in even a 10-minute video. It is insanity what is going on right now. But let's get back to the task at hand here. Netflix was the first one to do this because they were always going to be the first one to do this. They are kind of the big top dog in the streaming business, okay? They've been at this for a while. If people that are watching this video don't know, for some reason, Netflix started out as a DVD rental business, and then they had this great concept back in 2008. I remember it when it launched on the Xbox 360, and I remember the novel idea of streaming as an add-on to my DVD plan because I was renting DVDs at the time. And the first movie I ever streamed was Ratatouille, which is a great movie. But, you know, flash forward about 15 years here, and streaming is the norm. That is how most people consume content today. More people have cut cable in the last like 4 or 5 years than, you know, I don't even need to look up numbers. I mean, you know, if you're out there, I don't know many people my age that still have like a fucking cable subscription. My parents still have a cable subscription. And they also have streaming services, which I think is ridiculous. But most people my age, in my age group, millennials, we don't give a fuck about having cable TV anymore. And we've been fine for a long time with services like Netflix, Hulu, and so on. And all of a sudden, it blew up, and all of these different networks decided, well, we have to have our own service. So you have things like NBC has Peacock, CBS has Paramount Plus. ABC is kind of the only one that doesn't really have a major one. They still have all their content pretty much through Hulu, which of all the services, Hulu is still my favorite. But I mean, fuck, it's getting to that point where even Hulu is raising the price. So let's address that elephant in the room. That's the next part of this I want to talk about, which is simply price hiking and price gouging. The thing that set me over the edge to make this video is Disney. Disney decided in the last month or so, hey, we already raised our prices in the spring of this year from, I believe it was $6.99 to $10.99. Well, shit's tough right now. This writer's strike really fucked us. The actor strike is currently fucking us. Let's raise the price again and add no value. We're in the process of pulling things off Disney Plus for tax breaks, but let's go ahead and gouge our consumer base even more. So now, starting October 12th, it's going to be $14 a month in the United States, $13.99 a month. In fucking insane. I canceled. I'll be the first person to sit here and say, when I saw that, I looked at my girlfriend, I said, we're getting rid of Disney Plus. And for me, I have not watched anything on Disney Plus since the third season of The Mandalorian earlier this spring, which I thought was mediocre at best. And that's part of the content I want to talk about here. Part of the issue is a lack of quality content. A lot of these streaming services, Netflix, one of the biggest offenders, they're so focused on pushing, and I don't want to get into this topic really big here because that's not what the video is about, and I don't want to bring any hate my way or anything like that, but a lot of people don't want politics and political bullshit in their content, okay? I'm one of those people, all right? I'm not a very political person. I don't like to get into the subject of politics on my channel. But I'll be frank with you, Netflix, Hulu, Disney, they love the idea of hiring writers that like to push political agendas. They like to push what they think maybe is the status norm, where it's not really the status norm with most of America. So when this happens, you see failures. It's why you see comic book movies failing right now. It's why you see something like just right off the top of my head, most of these Marvel TV shows like She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Secret Invasion, you're seeing a lot of failures right now because they're hiring writers that push specific political agendas and political ideas that a lot of common folk either don't fucking care about. I'm in that camp. I just don't fucking care. And I don't want to see it in my content. I'm not here. Here's the reason why I say this. And again, I say this very lightly because this video is not a political video. This is about arguing about streaming services that are fucking way too expensive. Most people go to a movie, sit down and watch a TV show, read a book, whatever their source of entertainment, play a video game to escape the problems, the hardships, and the suffering of current life, of current times, okay? They want that escape, okay? When you start injecting your content with political agenda, with political ideology that not everybody maybe agrees with in the United States, you're going to get this backlash. You're going to have people that go, fuck it, I'm not interested in that anymore. And we see it happening time and time and time again with different things. Why do you think Disney is in such the rut that they're in? It's not because the writer's strike fucked them, which a lot of it did, but it's simply because they're not putting out quality content that people want to watch. Instead, they're filling it with this stuff and people are getting upset and saying, you know what, why would I even bother? Or you have really poor writing like the recent Star Wars trilogy, which, you know, I've gone on record, you know, I believe I did reviews of both Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker in the channel. I didn't have the channel going when the Force Awakens came out. However, looking back on it, and as I've said time and time again on the channel, the problem here today is they're not good movies at all. They're actually pretty fucking bad. I mean, think about, for example, and again, I also don't want to go down the rabbit hole of this is a video about Star Wars, but you never had a scene of Han, Luke, and Leia meeting together on screen in that Star Wars trilogy. And now that, unfortunately, Carrie Fisher has passed, it'll never fucking happen. They missed their single biggest golden opportunity with that trilogy. They said, nah. And instead, it became this stereotype that we are seeing over and over again in the last 5-6 years in writing in modern movies, especially in the superhero genre, of, hey, let's bring back that old hero that you remember, but we're going to show them and make them battered and beaten because our new hero is fucking superior in every fucking way. This happens all the time. And it's a tired trope, and I'm tired of seeing it as much as I'm tired of seeing the idea of multiverses. So, but that leads to it, like, lack of quality content. When I dumped Netflix back in May, I'll be honest, I haven't missed Netflix at all. Every once in a while, my parents say, hey, did you watch this show? Did you watch that show? And I remind them, like, I don't have Netflix. And I don't miss it. I recently, full disclosure, I had to re-up Netflix for 1 month so I could watch Castlevania Nocturne, which I'm currently in the middle of and will be doing a full review very, very soon here on the channel because it's fucking Castlevania. But that's it. Like, I'm already going to immediately cancel my Netflix subscription when I'm done watching that because there's no other content I care about there. The only other show I even give a fuck about anymore, besides Stranger Things, which everybody does, is the Unsolved Mysteries reboot. I don't even think that's coming back. So just wild shit. But again, Netflix is probably the biggest agitator of poor quality content. You see a lot of shows that come out and they're like, we're going to do it. We're going to do this. Let me put something out there. You know, comedy is kind of dead today, you know, and I'm not going to get into the reasons why. There are many YouTube videos out there, but Netflix has tried in the last 5-6 years to launch so many single cam sitcoms on their service. None of them have made it. None of them have made it past maybe a second season. And it's because they're not quality. They're not funny. And people don't identify with them. So they don't get the viewership. And then what's Netflix going to do? They're not going to keep a show going that nobody is watching. So they pull the cord. But yeah, lack of quality content. And I'm sorry to get on a huge rant about that, but it's been bothering me for a while. And you see the other flip side of this is the pricing. It's fucking outrageous. If you add up right now, you have Netflix, which is $20 a month. You have Hulu, which will be $17 next month. You're already at $37. You add HBO Max in there, or it's just called Max now, whatever. That's another $20. You see where I'm going with this? Now you're up to $57. Add Paramount Plus, that's $12. Hey man, you are, if you want to subscribe to pretty much the services you want, you might as well pay for a fucking subscription to cable. And that's the point I'm trying to make. We have successfully crafted cable 2.0. I actually know some people that have decided, fuck it, canceling all their subscriptions and just going back to cable because at this point, it makes sense and it's fucking crazy. But the pricing, it's outrageous. It is outrageous. You're not adding quality content for the price increase. You're not giving people a reason to stick around. And you're actually, in fact, even removing content. It's fucked up. It's insane. Streaming in 2023 fucking sucks. It needs to get better. We need to do better. We need to improve. Hey man, I'm glad the writer's strike's over. I'll say right now, like, Well, I do think quality writing is a problem in Hollywood and in the industry in general. It doesn't mean I think everything out there fucking sucks. I'll give you a great example. The FX show, which you can watch on Hulu, The Bear, is probably single-handedly the greatest new television show I have seen this decade. It is so expertly written. It is so expertly acted. The way the whole show is crafted, it is amazing. It is funny. It is sharp. It is witty. It's daring. I love the fuck out of that show. And every character on it is so well thought out and written. But again, mad props. It was a show that somebody was like, hey, you should give The Bear a try last year when it started. And then I watched it. I immediately binged it that first night. I believe my girlfriend and I think we watched like 8 of the 10 episodes or whatever, and then got up the next day and watched the last 2. And then I was just waiting for the second season. We got through it whatever weekend that came out a couple months ago. And I can't wait for a 3rd season. It's amazing. And that again proves my point. Like, it's not all writing. There is good quality content out there. Give shows a chance. You know, give writers that are actually crafting good stories a chance instead of just bullshit that people don't care about. Political garbage that people don't want to hear about because they hear about it every fucking day in the real world. Let's do it. So I would love to know in the comments below. This is very different of any videos I really put up, but it's been grinding my gears for a while, the streaming bullshit, and Disney Plus was kind of my last straw. I was going to cancel Paramount Plus. I was going to do it, and I did. And the very next day, without question, here's the Frasier reboot trailer. Oh, it comes out October 12th. And I said, fuck. And I re-upped my Paramount Plus because you guys know on the channel, I am a diehard Frasier fan. I'm currently on my 11th rewatch of that show in a 15-year period. I will rewatch Frasier in its entirety annually. So to say I am excited about this Frasier reboot would be an incredible understatement. And I have seen the trailer. I think it looks pretty good. I have some concerns, but overall I think it's pretty good. I'll do a short video on it after I watch this first season of it, just to give my opinion, because I am a diehard Frasier fan. But again, that proves my point. They got me there. Disney Plus, they haven't got me. You know, between mediocre Star Wars, Marvel shows that are apparently duds. I read the synopsis of Secret Invasion, and I just laughed and said, no, not interested. So I'd love to know in the comments below. I'm done rambling here. What do you think about all this streaming bullshit? Is it time for a change in streaming? Is it time for a change in the quality of the shows that we are getting? I'd love to know. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be nice to me in the comments. Have yourself a good one.